What's up, Can I Wash It crew? It's Matt with another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how I do my waterless wash system on these beautiful Chevy trucks, and also kind of review on how I started my business, where I came from, and what I did before I started doing this detailing. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Right, so in this video, I am going to review some tidbits about how I started my business as a mobile detailer and how I perform waterless washes. So as you can see, I am in this customer's garage, and he has a bunch of show ready SEMA trucks. Like, these trucks are pretty much SEMA ready, and he's a good customer of mine, and he loves my work, keeps having me come back and wash these vehicles over and over again. He doesn't really drive them as much, so they just kind of get dusty from sitting in the garage, but this is basically what I do for these vehicles. And plus two, it is raining outside, so I cannot use water anyway if I wanted to. He prefers not to use water. He likes the steam/waterless wash method. It brings out a resilient shine and really makes everything look great. So, as you can see right now, I am starting with the wheels here. As I go along in the video, I kind of just jump from spot to spot, but I'm using a steamer that I bought from Harbor Freight, I would say 2 years ago now. It doesn't really hold a lot of distilled water, but it does hold enough to perform waterless washes on these trucks, steaming services on these trucks, and the steamer is great for interiors as well. This fluid I'm using, or spray I guess you can say, is a concoction that I came up with. It's in another manufacturer's bottle. I think it was in like a chemical guy's bottle, but it's a concoction I made up with a company called The Filling Factory, and I will be promoting my product as soon as I can get some more information on the eco-friendly paper water bottles that I'm going to be using. So as soon as I can get that all situated, I'm going to be bottling up some of my own waterless wash. It's plant-based waterless wash. It's not really harsh, and it's great on paint. And also too, the bottle will biodegrade quicker than your regular run-of-the-mill plastic water bottle, as you would say. So yeah, this concoction is a wax-based synthetic kind of blend, and it's got a lot of plant-based properties in it, but it does really nice work, and it does kind of like your mediocre, dusty slash somewhat dirty vehicle. If it's heavy with mud, I usually hit it with water, like pressurized water, before using the waterless wash, which is a really good way of getting a lot of the heavier debris off the vehicle before using the waterless wash and microfiber towels, and cuts back on a lot of microfiber towel use as well. So a little bit on how I started my business. I started 3 years ago now, and I was a Mercedes-Benz technician for about probably 15 years or greater of my automotive industry career. And I just really had this feeling that I was kind of wasting time, and I felt like it was just kind of beating the same old day away, and just not getting anywhere in life, and just pleasing somebody else rather than pleasing myself. So I started doing some research on how to pretty much clean vehicles, and I had a love for it before even doing a Mercedes-Benz technician career. I washed and waxed my car on the regular when I was younger, Me and my father used to really enjoy doing that together, and it just kind of it built memories and kind of stuck with me. And the one day I just decided this is it. I think I should really start focusing on my own future versus somebody else's future, and making somebody else richer versus myself. So I wouldn't per se I'm making myself richer. I'm just pretty much explaining that working for somebody isn't really the greatest option in life. I feel like there's better options out there, and for one is definitely being your own boss and enjoying what you do from a day-to-day basis. So, in that saying, I was actually working at Mercedes 3 years ago now, and it was Christmas time, and we had a raffle. And in that raffle, there was some gifts, and you would pick out a ticket, and they would name off the ticket number, and you would come up and pick up your prize. And it just goes to show that it was a sign, I guess you can say, because when I got my raffle ticket named off, it was a detail kit from the details department at the Mercedes-Benz dealership. They kind of put together all the professional liquids or professional products that they had in the detail department and put it in a plastic bucket and made it a raffle prize. So it was really cool because it was kind of like a sign to me that, you know what, this is it. Let's get this rolling. Let's get going in life. Let's move on. I picked up the bucket, and after that day, I think it was maybe 2 months later, I ended up resigning from Mercedes-Benz and starting my detailing business, Mr. Bucket Mobile Detailing LLC. That from that day on, it was pure adrenaline. I just enjoyed what I did. I really take pride in my work and take my time, and I do more and more research on everything. I watch videos online on YouTube. Wilson Auto Detailing was one of them. I took his course, really good course. He's a good guy. He really puts out a lot of great information and free information as well, but his course was definitely well worth it, something to look into. I watched Detail Groove. He has a lot of great information, Oscar. And Miranda Detailing, he's another good one out there on YouTube. I'll probably link their stuff in the description if you're not familiar with them, but they really helped me kind of motivate myself to get going in life and do my own detailing career as an entrepreneur. So that's a little background on what I did to start this business, and I only started it with, I think it was like maybe $1,000 in hand. I really just kind of priced out a lot of used equipment and bought equipment that wasn't really too expensive, I guess you can say, like mediocre stuff, middle of the road stuff, nothing elaborate or crazy expensive. But as far as the actual overhead of the business, it's super cheap. I mean, all you have to really do is keep up with your products, always keep your inventory, and just pretty much maintain what you have. And it's really been a great business, and startup was super easy. Obviously, insurance, all that stuff, liability, stuff like that comes into play. That gets to be a little bit more money on top of what you're doing. But if you want to do this professionally and be a name in your community, you have to shell out some cash to get going and to get it actually legit to where people will trust you with such vehicles like I'm working on right now. Because if it wasn't for that, I think people would really kind of see you as just your weekend warrior type side hustle, which is not a bad deal if you're trying to start. You can do that just to kind of get the feel for things, but eventually if it starts making you good money and you're doing well with it, want to go the full bore and become a business. So this goes to show there's better ways out there just to make a living. You don't have to do the 9 to 5 and really clash heads with people that are just miserable. I mean, I always regretted going into work knowing that I had to A, work for somebody else, and B, have to deal with just people that just weren't happy with their lives. So, speaking of just coming from nothing and starting up a business from scratch, it's a lot of stress. I'm not gonna lie. It's a stressful ordeal because you're not relying on the paycheck from 9 to 5 and knowing that what you're gonna make each week is always gonna be the same in a way. I mean, as a technician, it was different because I was flat rate, so I kind of had the hustle to get where I wanted to be, but I always knew I was making in that general range of the same paycheck every week, knowing, okay, it's that cushy feel. We're good. I don't have to worry about any kind of hiccups because I know what I'm making every week, so I can kind of plan out my bills and stuff like that. So once you actually become an entrepreneur and start doing your own business, it's a whole different animal. I mean, you're not having that 9 to 5 paycheck. You're having a paycheck that you might go maybe a week or two with no money. I mean, it's happened with me. I would say in that case, you should definitely have a reserve for your business. Like, if you have employees and such like that, a reserve is great to have in place because that really helps you pay your employees when times are tough and rough and not really making anything. You can have some backup cash to keep your people entertained and keep them happy and keep them working for you. But if you're working for yourself, that's one thing. I mean, all you have to do is take care of yourself. Maybe you have a family or such, like I do. I got 2 children that I have to take care of. So I have reserves in place just for the family as well and myself, because you have to understand that business is not always there. It tends to go a week or two, possibly even a month, where you really won't get any real income, and it's scary stuff. And this is also why I do other things, like I'm coming out with the waterless wash to possibly sell online and push that and promote that at car shows and stuff such like that. But also too, I'll pick up a car with my automotive background. I can pick up a car and fix it and flip it for rather cheap, because I know a lot about fixing vehicles. But it also helps if you're into detailing, that you can actually do a vehicle where someone can sell it to you for rather decent price, and you can turn around and detail it a lot better than they can, and you can get damn near $500 more for the vehicle, or more depending on how you take pictures and such of it, and make more than that person would, because they're not willing to go the extra mile and either have it detailed or detail it themselves. And you'll get that extra money because people, from what I've seen in the past, people want to show up and see a nice clean car. They want to hear there's some maintenance done to it. It's in good shape. There's nothing really terribly wrong with it. Yada yada yada. But yeah, there's multiple incomes as an entrepreneur you should definitely have in place. You should definitely look into a lot more avenues and just not focus on one. Like I use my mobile detailing as my kind of, I guess you could say, main source of income, but when that's slow, I need to figure out another option, which is something else along my income stream, I guess you can say. Like, having a bunch of income streams are better than just having one. So just something to think about if you're going to go into business for yourself. Just make sure you're kind of ill prepared for it, and definitely know what you're getting involved with, because it's not easy. It's definitely a very hard thing to do, and the struggle is real, but the reward is phenomenal. Like, you gotta experience it for yourself. It's just an amazing feeling knowing that you're waking up and you're like, wow, I'm working for myself. It's just a great feeling. But for the most part, if you're really intrigued in life and you really want to and do something than just your average person rat race guy in the morning you see on the highway, just miserable as all hell, just go ahead and start your own business. Do it. Just don't ever think twice. I mean, don't look back. Don't think too much into it. I mean, obviously have a business plan in place and make sure that you're kind of got everything set before you go ahead and take the plunge. But I mean, also too, don't think too much into it. Just if you got something in place and you know it's gonna work, then do it. Maybe even, like I said earlier, do a side hustle to see if it even works for you. So as you're working your 9 to 5 job, you can do your side hustle, which would be possibly your future business, where you turn into your own business owner, which is a great feeling. So if you're really passionate about something, or you kind of have the feel for knowing, hey, this is something I want to really pursue and go for, then just do it. Don't think twice, just do it. Because the more you think about it, I guarantee the less it's going to be appealing to you. And it kind of becomes stressful, and you don't want to do it no more, and you start really struggling because you just kind of concentrate on the bad portions of life with business owning, which is not something you want to do. But on another note, back to this waterless wash here. As you can see right now, I just got done steaming this front end of this Chevy truck, and now I'm applying what's called Tech 582, and this is a nice spray detail ceramic. I did a review on it. You can catch it in my previous video. I'll link it in the description on the review on the Tech 582. But it's great because after I'm done either doing a waterless wash or I'm done doing a wash on a vehicle where I actually use the pressure washer and water system, what I do is I spray the Tech 582 on a microfiber towel, and the ceramic in the product helps dry the vehicle easier and makes it glossier. So it's kind of that added protection slash easier to dry, and it kind of gives you a little bit more life into your microfiber towel as you're drying the vehicle. And another good tip on that is always have 2 towels. One towel for excessive drying, which is like water, and then another towel to go over what you just used to bring up majority of the water. So it's kind of like the actual first towel being your towel that you want to use on the heavy portions of water, and then your second towel would be wiping the actual rest of the water away. And that's a nice little trick that I learned from a detailer, a local detailer that I worked with for a little bit there on a couple jobs, helping him out when he got busy. So, and that's another thing. That's another great thing about the community and the detailing community is people tend to think that there's a lot of competition, but the competition's funny because they want to work with you because they'll get so much work they can't handle it all, so they'll put a little bit onto you, and you can reap the benefit, meaning like you can get some more work out of it, and help your business run a little bit stronger. So it's a great opportunity, this detailing business. And if you're really trying to get involved with detailing, like I said, I recommend you watching some YouTube tutorials from some of the guys I mentioned online, and gaining as much information as you can possibly get, and teaching yourself, because there's really, in my eyes, I don't think there's really any school for detailing. There's no such thing. You could take courses online, which guys offer that help you, but you don't really have to go to a college for detailing. And if there is such a thing, I mean, it's a waste of money. It's not worth it. So it's kind of like a learn as you go business, and hopefully not mess up in the process. So you want to definitely possibly maybe even detail your own car or your mom's car or your dad's car for the time being, and learn how it actually works and what products you actually excel with and stuff like that. So, but yeah, this waterless wash system is really, really easy to do, and it works great on show vehicles. Like I got a client list of show vehicles that I'll do that they don't even really pull it out of their garage, so I don't even bother even doing that with using water or anything. I'll just come in with my waterless wash system that I use and just do their vehicles right there in their garage, which they really enjoy. Don't even have to pull it outside or do anything like that, and possibly even have water spot issues because of the hard water that's in your area. So yeah, something to look into, something to really work with is waterless wash. It's a great system. So right now I'm just, like I said, I'm bouncing around the vehicle. I kind of took clips and mashed them together, but here I am doing another rim and showing you how I kind of use a towel specifically for each part of the vehicle. Like I'll use a towel, microfiber towel for the rims, and usually I'll get 2 rims out of that microfiber towel before I have to switch it over to another microfiber and then do the other 2 rims. But if you're going to do the waterless wash, you want to have a lot of microfiber towels on hand. It's definitely one thing to be over prepared versus under prepared for a system like this. So it's something to keep in mind when you're doing that. So right here now I'm just applying some tire shine, and there's no real way to apply it. I feel like the way I do it right now, and I'm showing you right here, is the best way for coverage. I kind of hit a little bit of the top of the tire, and I come around the top of the treads and really get in there well, because it kind of gives that real nice glossy look when you're done, and it really helps with the appearance of the vehicle when the customer comes and looks at it. Gives it that ooh ow kind of look. And I also do, not in this case, but I also do the wheel wells, and I spray them with some tire dressing as well, and that really dresses up a lot of the plastic trim and suspension components, stuff that gets dull from use and weather and such. But in this case, I'm not doing that because these trucks don't really have any plastic on the inner wheel wells. They're old school. It's all metal, and the guy already had those wheel wells painted and such like that. So, but basically, yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, if you really want to do something along the lines of detailing, it's not hard, guys. It's really quite easy. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science to do this kind of stuff. It's just you gotta really enjoy what you do. You can't just show up to someone's house and expect to put in half of the work and get paid for the full amount, because it's not the way to run a business, especially this kind of business. You gotta, I wouldn't say over deliver, but I would say damn near close to it. You wanna make sure your final finished product looks amazing and makes the customer want to tell their friends and everybody about you. Because let me tell you something, people do not need their cars washed. They don't need this service, guys. And the way it works is, the only way to get repeat business or more business is to show them that you are devoted and you can make these vehicles look better, way better than what they expected. Because when they see that, you're gonna get more business over and over, repeat business over and over, maintenance clients over and over. It's just the way to do this business and build this business is repeat work. You kind of want to get a customer base and then stick with that customer base. Like always follow up with emails, follow up with hey, I saw that we haven't spoken 90 days. What's possibly get you in for another detail? Are you interested? That type of stuff. Because let me tell you something, you're not going to get people knocking down your door on Google, Facebook, Instagram. You're just not gonna, it's not going to happen. The way I built this business was word of mouth. And it's I can't explain anymore. You got to have the word of mouth. You got to have the people kind of ranting and raving and being your cheerleaders on the sideline for you, because if it isn't for that, you're probably not going to see a lot of business. I mean, eventually over time you will, but it's going to take way, way longer than actually going in there and doing it the right way and showing people that you are one of the better detailers in the area, or pretty much know what you're doing and can deliver. So it's just one of those things. You gotta definitely treat this business like a baby. You gotta always stay on top of it. I mean, there's no days off for me. Even when I'm not detailing, you know what I'm doing? I'm sitting behind the computer and I'm figuring out how to optimize my Google Place page, or I'm pretty much following up with customers that I know that need details that haven't called me in a while, or I'm checking in on my maintenance clients and seeing if they can possibly refer somebody for me in the meantime. You don't want to just be like, let me sit and wait and maybe somebody will come by. No, it's it's not gonna happen for you. I'm telling you firsthand, it's not a easy business to grow. It's an easy business to run, but not an easy business to grow. So something to keep in mind. You want to definitely treat this like it's your baby. That's it, 100%. And as you can see right here, I'm just showing you outside. It's raining. It's not the greatest weather, but I could still get the job done with the waterless wash. And this guy, his truck is just beautiful. I mean, I really can't tell you anymore that these trucks that I'm doing right here are just amazing trucks. They're just well maintained and just beautiful machines. He runs them at SEMA. He runs them all across the show car industry here, but he has a super big collection of these things, and I'm quite impressed as well. So, but this is the kind of stuff that you can get into and start finding in your industry. You can start finding these guys. You can start going to possibly, I guess you could say, classic car conventions or classic car shows, and just throwing your name out there and just showing people, hey, listen, here's some pictures of some of the work I did. Here's some of the actual products, or here's some of the products I use. Kind of throw yourself out there, because you're definitely not gonna have this business come to you and fall into your lap. You got to really work hard for it, and that's one thing that I can't stress anymore. It's just working this business is, you got to devote yourself. If you can't devote yourself, I'm sorry, don't even bother, because it's just not going to be what you think it is. It's a very strategic kind of business that to run, like, as far as like always staying on top of your customers. You got to really keep up with your customers. But in the long run, it really pans out, and I enjoy it a lot. And I get to see some really cool cars and really meet some really neat people that have some really cool backgrounds in life, and to hear their story and where they came from is pretty exciting as well. So yeah, and that's it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like the content I'm putting out. And if you are trying to start your own business, like I said before, just go for it. Hopefully you can just kind of just figure things out for yourself over time, and really show people what you are passionate about and enjoy doing. So if you like this video, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate that, and there'll be more videos coming soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Peace.